when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Trying to find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask. I just really hit the field. 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 Boy, I'm about to hit the field.
And we're back. It is a very, very good Tuesday morning, December 10th. And it's been a crazy semester, but we're going to close it out with one final episode of the HTF podcast. Jeremy Brener here, your host of the HTF podcast. And we're doing things a bit different, but, you know, similar if you listen to yesterday's podcast with JB and my co-pilot Tyler Fellerman. We talked everything NFL from the weekend. So go check that out on Apple Podcasts and our YouTube page at Hitting the Field. But today we're closing out with something special, something unique, something that I'm so glad we get to do. We get just one-on-one, Jeremy Brener, Ross Bernstein, NBA. Ross Bernstein, welcome to the podcast. I couldn't think of a better way to close out the season than this moment right here.
Neither could I, Jeremy. This is a great time to talk some basketball, and I've been waiting to do this.
Oh, this is like the whole semester in the making right here.
We're talking basketball.
Oh, you don't even know the lyrics.
Yeah, but I know we're talking.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, all right, there's a little backstory here. So, Ross told me before the podcast, he's like, I've always wanted to sing it. I've always wanted to sing We're Talking Basketball.
Yeah.
And this man doesn't know the lyrics.
I said the talking basketball. I don't know about the rest.
This man needs a karaoke machine. Like
put it in the budget next year. We'll see what happens season 10 when we get the karaoke machine.
Yeah, HTF 10 karaoke show. All right.
Anything could happen.
But now let's talk actual basketball here. All right, Ross. So, in a way, I guess what you would call this point in the season is the end of the first quarter of the NBA season.
Yep.
I mean, most teams have played more than a quarter of games, but I mean, there's still the Nuggets have only played 21 games. That's a quarter of their schedule. And I think that's it. I think everyone's played at least 21 games in their schedule. A lot of them have played more though. That's kind of crazy how the schedule is like kind of lopsided. Like you look at
it's always that way.
Is it though?
Yeah, it's always a little different. There's going to be some teams that are those that probably have played mostly away games, some mostly home games. The
like
Spurs
Charlotte's.
Complain,
So like in this point in the season, Charlotte has played 25 games, and the Nuggets play 21. Is that like kind of strange?
It's not that strange. There's going to be a certain point in the season where they'll catch up, where the Nuggets will have like a good, like they'll slow down, and then other people catch up.
I mean,
like,
at the end of the day,
it's just going to happen.
At the end of the day, every team plays 82.
Yeah, they'll find a way.
So I guess for some teams, this is the quarter mark of their season. So I'm just
22 to 27.
The 20, yeah.
I'll give it to them.
Well, the 27.5.
27.5.
Okay. But Ross, I'm gonna ask you here. What has surprised you the most about this season so far, in 20 plus games in?
It's got to be the Phoenix Suns.
Really?
The Phoenix Suns.
Talk Phoenix.
The Phoenix.
I was looking for a place to start, but
yeah,
I don't think.
I don't think most people expect.
When we're gonna try to cover everything that's gone on in the league for the next about 90 minutes. So we got about 85 and a half minutes to talk everything the league. So there's no better place to start than Phoenix. So let's start with Phoenix.
Yeah, so the Suns this year were obviously, if you go into the projections, they're probably expected to do nothing. What they've done is completely turn around the team. And the greatest part is they've yet to have DeAndre Ayton. He was suspended 25 games. He'll be back in about 3 games. Booker has said 2 years ago, I'm not missing the playoffs again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
then he missed the playoffs.
But it's the Suns. Honestly, you got to give it up to the coach, Watson.
No, Monty Williams.
Oh, Monty Williams.
Earl Watson got fired 2 years ago. They put Earl Watson, Igor Kokoshkov. Now, a lot of
Kukochka was
a lot of people criticized that firing because it was 1 year, and he really he just got his feet wet, and then they're like sorry, but they got Monty Williams. Monty Williams is a respected coach around the league, and I think he should be in talks for Coach of the Year.
He's bringing discipline to a team full of young guys. Kelly Oubre is a stud. He's going to look as a great second option. Ricky Rubio is probably... Here's the problem with Rubio. He came into the league with such high expectations as a superstar, like teenager, dominated like around the world in like when he was 16. So they gave him expectations. He was never that. He was never an elite scorer. What he is an elite playmaker that just makes everyone around him better. And then once they get Aiden back, I think they're going to... I mean, granted, I don't think they're not the Clippers, they're not the Lakers, they're not a top 3 team, but I think they're a sneaky team to get into the playoffs. Granted, you can never count out Portland, because Portland will always find a way to get in, even though they're not looking too great this year, even though shout out to Carmelo. Mm-hmm. But Phoenix is such a surprise, and honestly, I think they deserve it. I think Devin Booker is finally, this is the first time, he's had more than just him on the team, right? So once they get Aiden, who is a really, really good young player, a nice 19 and 11 kind of guy you could get, I mean, you got to act like they're the most surprising team by far this year. Not the best, the most surprising team.
The Suns played the Rockets the other day, so I did do a little bit of insight into the Suns. Yeah. They, like, almost all of their important players are 23 or 24.
Yeah, it's a good culture, good young players.
Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, who they just drafted. Kelly Oubre's 24. They just signed him to a good contract that'll keep him in Phoenix for a while. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, what they did, and what is the reason why they're reaping the benefits of actually having a decent basketball team this year, I think, is because they got Ricky Rubio.
Yeah,
Ricky Rubio does so much to open up Devin Booker's game.
Takes a lot of stress off him. Devin Booker is not a playmaker.
Yes, he's not, he's a bucket. He's a bucket, and you don't necessarily have to be a bucket in order to create. Like, you don't have to necessarily create your own shot in order to be a bucket. What Rubio allows him to do, it allows him to, not always focus on creating that shot. Because the thing is, Rubio's a better creator than Devin Booker,
100%.
and he's allowing Devin to kind of, get open on the wing, get him
some
his
open
spot.
shots, get some Klay Thompson type shots. Where you don't have to dribble at every play. Klay Thompson scored about 60 points off 7-8 dribbles. He's a stud. He doesn't need to touch the ball.
And that's the kind of player that Devin Booker, I think, needs to be if he wants to succeed in this league.
He's a better shot creator than Thompson, but he could.
Yes,
he's not. He should not have the ball.
He's had point guard. He's had point guard experience in his tenure. 100%. But you could even say the same thing similar to James Harden in regards to Harden is a good creator, but it's nice to have Russell Westbrook there.
It's kind of like
Chris Paul there.
It's kind of like how we expected Donovan Mitchell to be this year. Yeah, Mike Conley. We expected
exactly.
a lot less stress on him. Obviously, it's not been as good as a result as they expected, but it should eventually get into progress. It's going to take some stress off of 2 guards. So a lot of 2 guards in this league think they're 1 guards. You're not. Some guys just get buckets. Granted, you could do other things. You could create your own shot, but when you have a legit point guard that all he wants to do is make sure everyone's getting in the game, it really helps. It's going to help young players.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let me ask you this about Phoenix.
Yeah.
What does Phoenix need if they want to take the next step?
I would give time.
I think it's time.
I don't think it's time to just get superstars and try to add them to this young roster. You got, as you said, a super young team, 23 and under. Just time. They seem like they're gelling well. In 2-3 years, they could be a really, really good team. Obviously, they'll end up adding someone. If they're any older guys, like any vets that are trying to win championships, once they see a young team that's cemented, kind of like
that's true.
Philly, getting JJ Redick and someone like that, it does a lot. So I just think time. I don't think they're going to make any moves, really, to trade for anyone. There's really no point. What are you going to do? Trade your young players to get a 30-something-year-old guy that might help Booker? No, man. Keep the young team, keep it going, and just keep progressing.
Yeah, I think sometimes you're best. Sometimes you need to play like the Lakers, and you need to win now.
Yeah,
and you need to go and get guys.
It's Phoenix.
But this is Phoenix, exactly. Phoenix doesn't have a culture where they can attract free agents that will change the course of the franchise.
No.
I mean, Ricky Rubio is a good free agent that they were able to lure, but he doesn't change the franchise.
It's a great signing, but yeah, you're not.
Ricky Rubio is
not
what,
LeBron.
like maybe the third best player on that team? Number
Yeah,
4?
arguably third, fourth, depending on when Aiden comes back.
Yeah, I guess Ayton would be in the top 3
Yeah.
if he were playing. But
Yeah.
I mean, like the blueprint for, and I don't want to call Phoenix a small market, but in the NBA they are a small market.
In the NBA they're a small market.
So-
There's only about 6-7 teams that are big.
Exactly. So that's the blueprint if you want to win as a small market. Is you have to build your legacy. You can't just
They got a
lay it out right in
superstar
front of
already.
you.
They got a actual superstar in Devin Booker.
Like-
They could build another one. Kelly Oubre looks like he might be soon. He's a super young dude. Aiden, they've only given he's got a couple seasons in him, and he could be a superstar. You have so many young guys that could be superstars. Why are you
Right.
gonna abandon ship now?
Yeah.
Just keep adding vets, keep getting better, and go Buckstein.
Shout out to Bucks.
Shout out to
I wonder. I mean, hey, he's got.
I mean,
he's got a reason.
he helped build this roster.
Yep.
He did a lot. They just try to get good people to gel, and it worked.
Every time he'd go in class, he's like, Phoenix Suns, not trying to win games.
I just remember when
He goes, Phoenix Suns, trying to win games.
This semester was great because he was able to show the board, and we were like, he's like, you guys haven't seen this in 6-7 years. Bomb number 2 seed when they were like first 6 games of the season. I was like, all right, I see it. I see you.
Oh man, shout out to Phoenix. I'm happy to see.
I'm happy to see them. I'm happy to see Devin Booker win. I didn't want him to have another bad season and then leave. I think he was great in Phoenix.
Yeah. So okay, Phoenix is the biggest surprise to you, Ross. What is the biggest disappointment? You got surprise and
disappointment. My initial answer would be Golden State, but I can't put the blame on them. They lost Curry.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we can say Golden State's the biggest disappointment, but what team is underperforming?
Oh, Utah.
Utah. All right, let's talk Utah now. Let's talk Utah.
Yeah.
Utah right now currently sits at 13-11, good for 6th place in the Western Conference. But if you look at, where they're at, their points per game, it sits pretty much in the bottom 5 or 6 teams in the league. More like almost every other team except with the exception of they're a bottom 3 offense in the West, which will play a role down the stretch. And in the East, they would sit as the 6th worst offense. So, I mean, maybe a little more middle of the pack if they're in the East, but you're in Utah and you're in the West. And how does that? So why is Utah struggling here or not performing up to the high standards that were placed upon them at the beginning of the season, Ross?
I just guess it's because Mike Conley's not playing up to what they expected. I mean, you don't sign Mike Conley to not get better. He is a really, really, really good point guard, and should be an all-star point guard. And he's not doing what he needs to. He's not helping Donovan Mitchell as much as they hoped.
Mike Conley,
4-4. Come on, man. You need to get at least 8. The whole point of them go there is probably to get a lot of stress off Donovan Mitchell. You gave Donovan Mitchell such a big load to just carry. You said you gotta score, you gotta pass, you gotta do everything. And for Conley to come in and just put up 13, 4, and 5, basically, it's not enough. Not even close to enough. And defensively, they should be a lot better.
You have
Gobert in the paint. You have Conley on the outside. You have Ingle. You have a great defensive team. You should not be as bad.
For someone who used to hold the largest contract in NBA history,
still crazy. I don't know how he did this.
Well, this 13.9 is the lowest he's averaged points wise since the 2011-2012 season. So that was 8 years ago. And look, here's the thing, and I do want to bring this up. I think that there needs something to be said, and this doesn't apply to everyone because this definitely does not apply to Anthony Davis. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That players when they're playing in a new city that they're not used to, they need to take time to acclimate and adjust, and because their routine is out of whack, especially for players like Conley, who played in one city for 12 years and now is moving to a whole new city with a whole new atmosphere, whole new altitude. Like your lifestyle has to change when you're living from Memphis, Tennessee.
You got to get a new
and Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's a whole new life.
He
asked for this.
Yeah, he did ask for it. He did ask for it.
He left.
And the same can be said for Russell Westbrook. The same can be said, for Kyrie Irving. The same can be said for, a bunch of guys in the league. I know that's. That's
you
people.
could give them the benefit of the doubt, but at the end of the day, you have to perform.
Those are the three. Those are the three examples I had off the top of my head. Kemba Walker in some regard as well. So, and I mean, Kemba's doing a decent job towards that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll give Kemba the fact that he did go to UConn. He did live in the New England area.
Yeah, sure.
So he does have
He's
somewhat
used
of
to it. He's probably has friends around there now. Yeah,
like Mike Conley. I don't know his backstory well, but I don't really think that Utah was a place that he's ever lived before.
Yeah, it's a big thing that Utah's not the best place to play. Yeah.
Well, to some people it is. To some people it is. I mean, I think the reason why Malone and Stockton were so good in their later years, it took them over 10, 12 years to actually become legitimate finals contenders, was because they had the advantage of being acclimated together for such a long time. Not only do you have to be acclimated to the city and your lifestyle, but you have to be acclimated to the people on your roster and the team. And there's so much newness in this league, and that's why I think teams like Utah are struggling right now, is because they have not had as much time to gel together to create that consistency, to create that chemistry, and that's and that doesn't apply to every team. I mean, obviously
some teams click immediately.
Obviously, the Lakers are doing
LeBron
just fine.
has waited his whole life to have a player like Anthony Davis on his team. He looks. I've never seen that man so happy in my life. I saw him for years in Miami, and he looked happy. But this man has a giant smile on his face. He was so doubted last year. I don't want to get into the Lakers yet, but that man is. I'm so happy to see LeBron happy. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean. So yeah, Utah. It's struggling.
Disappointing. Granted, they're only 13-11. It's not like they're the worst.
For sure not.
I just thought they were gonna have a really, really, really good season, especially how low they are offensively.
They were seen as legitimate
contenders.
Finals contenders. And maybe that part of that was just the fact that they, there was so much up in the air.
You expect Mitchell to get a lot better. You expect when you throw Conley in, and
yeah,
you expect a lot of things. They're an on-paper team.
Step.
They're an on-paper team right now. Yeah, that's all they are.
I mean, and that could definitely change. I mean, they're still,
just started. I don't expect Conley to finish the season averaging 13, 4, and 5.
Yeah, I think...
I just don't. I expect him to get hopefully up to 17, 18. They don't need him. He's not expected to drop 26 points a game. It's just not what... I mean, at least that's not what I expect them to expect from him. But, I mean, they're only going to get better. But the West is so hard. You need to... Being at 500 is not going to cut it. Teams like I believe Portland's probably going to find a way to turn around. And I would never count out San Antonio as long as Greg Popovich.
Absolutely not.
So
they've won 2 straight.
Yeah, and you have Minnesota. You have the Kings. It's so deep that you need to. It's not the East. You can't just kind of lollygag your way around the regular season and then maybe hopefully figure out by the playoffs. No. You're not going to get into the playoffs. You'll be chilling in April. You'll be at home doing nothing in Salt Lake. So they got. I hope they get it together. I mean, they were one of my favorite teams in the offseason. I like the Conley move. I mean, there's only time. I mean, like everything, only time will tell.
Time will tell.
Yeah,
absolutely. So we're talking. We said disappointment was Utah, or disappointment was Golden State.
Yeah,
underperforming was Utah. But let's go into Golden State, I guess. Yeah, I you know what, I will say this. I will not usually bring this up a lot, but I did say on the HTF NBA annual show, or I guess hopefully annual show. We'll see. We'll see if it survives past this year. But on the 2019 NBA preview show, I predicted that the Warriors would win the NBA championship.
How's that looking?
Let's
give you the benefit of the doubt.
A little bleak. Yes. No. I mean,
that
obviously
was before
Curry got hurt, before Draymond got hurt. Before D'Angelo Russell got hurt. I was thinking, you know what? Clay's going to come back in February.
A whole lot of
They're not going to have a lot. I mean, but now it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for even, Steph to come back. The bench. It doesn't make sense for any of them to really come back. It's
a wash season.
It's a wash season.
Yeah, LaMelo.
Well, that's certainly something up for debate, but not for today, I would say.
No.
But yeah, I mean, but they are, what would like, what would you have said if I told you that a year ago that in a year from now, so if we're talking December 2018, if I told you in December 2019, the Golden State Warriors would start out their season 5-20, what would you have told me?
Some things that I probably wouldn't repeat on air.
Yeah, I mean,
definitely something to that degree. I would tell you you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. And then you'd be like, I'm gonna pretend to be you in the argument. Oh, but Durant's gonna leave. I'm like, okay, they'll still have Curry, they'll still have Thompson, they'll still have Draymond, they'll still have Curry. They'll have a great team. And this is before Russell. I'd be like, you don't know what you're talking about. I would have been wrong.
Yeah.
But obviously you don't predict injuries. That's never a thing. You don't build a roster thinking, all right, but they probably will all our best players get injured. Not Jordan Poole will probably get in. Like you expect, yeah. It's just things you're not going to expect.
Yeah, Kevon Looney's hurt too. Like,
oh my god!
But that's the thing is you can
Willie
run.
Cauley Stein's the stud, and Pascal's the stud.
Willie Cauley Stein and Eric Pascal are the ones that are
Willie Trill Cauley Stein.
Jesus, it's I mean sometimes when you ride such a long wave of luck. The luck comes back to bite you in the butt.
If I'm an NBA team and I'm just getting whooped year after year by the Warriors, anytime I see them, I don't care how bruised and battered they are, I am going in there to absolutely destroy them.
I think that
you'd be like, oh, you had all these years.
Yeah.
You had the best. You had a 73-9 team and said, oh, we need Durant, and then you won championships. Oh, all right. We're not going to take it. We're not taking it light on you. We're beating the life out of you.
I'm sure that every NBA team that walks into a game against Golden State is taking that swing. And they have a bigger target on their back. I would say, I mean, if they weren't the defending champions, I would actually say that they would be a better record, right? Or excuse me, they're not the defending champions, but
basically,
like if they weren't like
one of the best teams in the past, also one of the best runs in NBA history.
If they weren't coming off of that run, they wouldn't be seen in that regard.
They'd be looked at like the Knicks. People just walk in. They're gonna beat them, but people look angry playing the Warriors. Oh my god, it's like I'm trying to think of a good example. It's probably like I don't know. I can't even think of a good one. Probably like the Knicks. It's probably like the Bulls once Jordan left.
Yeah,
because
Bulls team the year after they won that 6th championship, they were terrible, terrible. That team was awful, terrible.
Yeah.
This is a very similar.
You just want to beat the dead horse. It's someone that's you basically had a bully your whole life, right? Every year,
you get a chance
and then you hit a growth
stand
spurt.
up to your
You're
bullies.
like 6'5" now, look like John Whitley, and you're just like, oh, you remember me? Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah, Pascal. Okay. Oh, Willie Cauley Stein. I'm shaking. Yeah, come on.
Is John Whitley really 6'5"?
I don't know. I made that up. Who knows?
I'm gonna.
Seems like it. Might as well
ask him. All right. But you mentioned Knicks. I want to go over the Knicks. The first coach firing of the NBA season is courtesy of the Knicks. Boo these men. But also, I guess I'm gonna ask you, Ross. Mm-hmm. I think I know your answer.
I think you do too.
Is this move justified?
Justified? No. Absolutely not.
All right.
Well, once again, let me get out the way. The Heat bias is very, very, very high in effect, possibly in this. I still think I'm right whether Heat bias or not. David Fizdale came from Miami. I get to see him every game talking in the halftime. That was our guy.
Yes.
He is a great coach. This is the example I thought of driving here. I'm not going to lie. I dwelled on this knowing it would come up. It's like I'm the greatest. It's the 1800s, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a ship maker. I make the best ships ever. All you got to do is give me a wrench and one or two guys to help me. I'm David Fizdale. They gave me a stick and said, all right, you got about, what is it? We're about a month and a half in the end. You got a month and a half. And I came up with nothing. You gave me a stick. You didn't even give me a tool. You didn't give me any men. And then you fired me. Ridiculous. Hey, I'm going to give one thing. I'm happy for you, David Fizdale. You're still going to get paid. You're still going to get some money off your contract. You deserve better. You deserve better. You come back to Miami. We'll take you as an assistant coach. We still love you. I still love you. It's not justified as all. They didn't give him anyone. They didn't help him at all. I'm sure they gave him a whole speech in the offseason like, hey, we're going to get Durant. We're going to get Kyrie. Don't worry about it. Hey, James Dolan was like, hey, we got this. We got this. They gave him Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Not a bad player, but it's not justified. I think the Knicks organization...
He's not a bad player, but
No.
this season...
No.
But this
Yeah,
season...
Look, I picked him up in fantasy thinking something. But here, I think the only people that expected a lot from the New York Knicks was the higher-ups. I don't know why. There's no reason on paper that you should think that this team would be... At best, right now, they should be 2-3 games under 500. Like, that's at best. They're not that. You can't look at this roster and expect a playoff team. You can't look at this roster and expect a championship team. But I believe people in the higher up on the Knicks looked at the team and said, that's at least a playoff team. And people probably like, no, you're on this. Like, no. We got this.
Okay, but I think it's safe to say, though, that this team, on paper, should be better than their record shows for it. Do you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, better than their record shows, but not that much better than their record shows.
Not that much better, but anything
Not
is better
fireable.
than 4-19.
I mean, okay, you're right. I'll give you that. I think they could have been 7
Ross?
and 16. I don't think
But
they're
that's
that
still
much
better. That's not fireable.
No, it's not. A 3-game difference is not enough to say, hey, Fizdale, you didn't do anything. Like, I won 4 games. But I really think the Knicks expected, the higher ups the Knicks expected to make the playoffs because James Dolan's a delusional man. Everyone up there is delusional. Fizdale is a great coach. It seems like the players loved him. I mean, when Marcus Morris is your high scorer on your team, Marcus Morris Sr.
Yeah. 18-6 a game.
Not a bad, but
18
that
points
should
a
not
game.
be your top player. Come on.
I mean,
they have a bunch of people. Okay, here's their team. It's a bunch of guys that the Lakers would love to have. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, I could throw Marcus Morris out there with LeBron. Great. Ooh, Julius Randle on that. These are a bunch of players that should be on really good teams, being good people off the bench.
They are,
but they're stars. Well,
maybe
you can't see the quotation. Stars.
Maybe they're planning for a LeBron run in 2 years. Maybe that's
Jeremy.
what
Don't
they're
ever
doing.
say something like that.
Maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. You might. Yeah. They're planning a LeBron.
They're getting all the players that would be great fits next to LeBron.
Oh, I promise you, every year they're planning something. They're the New York Knicks. They have $1 billion. They're gonna plan something. But I think after this year, it's finally the thought that this is New York. Everyone wants to come play here. I think after this year, we've proven who cares about the Knicks.
Nobody wants to
These
play
kids
here.
grew up. No one grew up looking at the Knicks thinking that's a great team.
David Fizdale was one of the more respected coaches in the
God.
entire league by players, and they just fired him. And that, if anything, that hurts your chances in even more than it did before. The Knicks right now are synonymous to, and I hate to say this, synonymous to the Clippers in Los Angeles. And not
they're the second
not
fiddle.
because they're I don't say that's
right
like
now they are.
But I mean, look, the Nets aren't the Lakers, but
no.
What I'm trying to get at is the Clippers are a symbol of just historically.
Yeah,
the Clippers are a symbol of mediocrity. And now the Knicks, a team that has made the playoffs, I want to say twice in the last 15 years, 20 years. Look,
I could go twice. Yeah,
in my lifetime, when I started following basketball, the Knicks were bad. The only time they were actually somewhat decent is when they had Carmelo Anthony and Jeremy Lin. That's it.
Yeah, Amari.
That is it.
Yeah.
And Amari.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll throw in Amari there.
He's Jewish. I gotta give it to him. I'm sorry. I know.
Is it funny that I was about to say the exact same
Yeah,
thing?
no, I know. Anytime you hear Amari Stoudemire and you're Jewish, you're like, did you know? He's killing. Yeah.
It's like Jewish Jeopardy.
Last time the Knicks won the championship was 1973. My dad was 9 years old. What does the Knicks mean to anyone now? The Knicks is all it is a cultural thing. It's a good hat.
Culture. It's a culture.
Look, you play in Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. Do you think those seats are filled by a bunch of loyal Knicks fans? No. It's a bunch of tourists that walked by and said, "Oh, Knicks game tonight? All right, we'll pay for that." Yeah. And I like the point you made about Fizdale being fired could hurt them. I'd liken it to, in my opinion, for the Heat, what was hurt the Heat when we didn't sign Dwayne Wade that one year, when we let him go. Mm-hmm. What that tells you in the league says, I don't care if you're the greatest player to ever play in our team. Like, I don't care that you've done all this. We'll still let you go and underpay you. We're a business. That's not a good thing. Players don't like to play for businesses. They like to play for culture. Granted, the Heat did a good cleanup. We got him back. We did everything. I don't expect the Knicks to do anything right, ever. As long as Dolan is there, I don't expect them to do anything right to make any sense. And now you've proven, hey, their thought was like, okay, we don't have to really make any sense. We can kind of just go with the flow. We're in New York. Who doesn't want to play for MSG? it's proven no one wants to play for MSG. Kyrie, who's the biggest attention seeker in the NBA, in my opinion, was like, go to Barclays. Go to Brooklyn. Yeah. It's right there. It's right there. Hop, dip, skip away. We don't need it.
I mean, like, the Knicks right here, they have point guards, you know.
They got bunch of
Alfred
good players.
Payton was a top 10 pick. Ntilikina, a top 10 pick. Dennis Smith Jr., a top 10 pick. That's their point guard
it's a bunch
rotation.
Of guys
that... Like, it's
like I said,
pitiful.
it's a really good...
Pitiful.
It's a really good...
Pitiful.
It's really good role players. This is the best team of role players in the NBA right now.
Yeah, but, yeah.
They're if you do two
and
superstars
RJ Barrett is kind of like, but the thing is this, RJ Barrett is given like the green light here to absolutely become the franchise player.
Yeah, there's no one else. This is their team. I don't think they expect Dennis Smith Jr. to be the next great player. I still think they're waiting on Giannis at this point. The Knicks are delusional if they think they're going to just get any player they want because they're in New York. I think they have to get that out their head. Once they get that out their head, this is not a bad team to build with. Because you got a bunch of young players that you expect probably to get better.
Right.
And just maybe you could lure a superstar in. But be patient. I think a lot of NBA teams now try to follow the Miami Big Three thing where they just go from 0 to best team in the league in a second. It's not going to work like that for every team.
But I will say this. That is how the Knicks need to win. I hate to say it.
No.
That like just how Phoenix's model to win is to build and build and build. The Knicks model to win is to buy.
I think the problem is because it's New York. New Yorkers are not the most patient
people.
They
don't even care. James Dolan's really patient.
Oh no, here's the thing with James.
I
don't want to get into my James Dolan.
What they have proven, and this is actually going to be very crucial for the Knicks in the coming years. And to be honest, they have an advantage. They play in New York City.
Well, that's what we think. That's what I'm saying. We don't.
No, they do. And the thing is this: they're like
they haven't lured a free agent.
Okay,
years.
Yeah,
no one wants to play for the Knicks.
So the thing is, they've been so bad for such a long time that they are forced to scout players and they are forced to develop players. And they are forced to lose years in which they could be contending. There's no reason why the Knicks should not have gotten a free agent by now.
Serious question. Do you think James Dolan cares if they win games?
No. Otherwise they would have won games by now.
They are such a profitable team. I really genuinely, if they just threw out a bunch of guys that have never played basketball and people still show it up, I'd be like, this is a good product. I mean,
the thing is, he has a good product, but it can turn into a great product. I think that, you know, the Knicks get more fanfare from the opposing teams than their own team.
Yeah, no one wants to watch the Knicks.
That's
Knicks are bad.
That's the thing is, and honestly, like, James Dolan has the brand recognition of Madison Square Garden.
They have everything.
That is
Put a team together.
That is what helps drive the Knicks, is the fact that they play in Madison Square Garden. That's the only thing that drives the Knicks.
You're walking by. You're gonna.
Madison Square Garden is a stronger brand right now than the New York.
100%. You're just gonna walk by and grab a ticket.
Yeah, they're like,
no one's traveling to go to MSG.
Like let's say, their last game. Like, let me pull it up. This is their business model. Let's say.
I see a lot of L's. That's not a lot of wins I'm seeing.
Denver's Nikola Jokic coming to town, coming to New York.
MSG
one time a year. That's all that's gonna happen. Oh yeah. Like, don't come and see Mitchell Robinson. You're not here to see RJ Barrett.
No one in the world is here to see Marcus Morris Senior. Marcus
Morris.
No one cares about Marcus Morris Senior.
Nope. That's their business model. They go on a road trip here.
That's going to be really helpful.
It's on the road. It's on the West Coast. They get 4 games on the road.
Portland
starting tonight with a back-to-back. Portland Golden State.
That's going to be a great game.
The Toilet Bowl.
That's
the Knicks,
Golden. Hey, everybody check in. Can I get the date? Can I get the Wednesday, December 11th, 10:30. Are you ready to see Steph? Are you ready to see Eric Pascal versus Julius Randle? Tune in. Oh my. Yeah, poor Knicks fans. Yada yada. I'm a Dolphins fan, so I know what being bad is for this many years, but at least I'm not delusional. I think that's a problem in New York. They're delusional. I guarantee you, I cannot wait till Giannis does not go there. It's going to be the greatest day. I'm so excited.
I don't understand, like, The thing is, I'm going to bookend New York here because I think we've spent way too much time talking about the Knicks, way more than they deserve.
So everyone talks so much.
Okay. The thing is, they have not developed a talent in
Kristaps
years. I mean, sure.
Didn't keep.
Sure.
Haven't developed and kept
Sure.
the talent.
We'll count Kristaps, I guess.
I'm counting Kristaps.
But other than Kristaps, has any good draft pick gone to New York and like been really good? It started off.
I'm thinking really hard.
Like yeah, like
I'm gonna
like honestly, it'll take a minute. Like what was the last like? And the thing is, a lot of New York's guys on that. I mean, with the exception of R.J. Barrett and Iggy Brazdeikis, like which of their guys do they actually like draft and develop? Damian Dotson, who doesn't really play anymore. Kevin Knox, terrible. They're like Kevin Knox should have been in a good like.
Kevin
Knox
like
is a
18.
promising player, and then he's flatlined.
An 18 anytime you draft an 18-year-old, there's only two things: either he becomes a stud or he does nothing. And
he's done nothing.
I'm looking through this.
So they have been so irrelevant for so long that they are forced now. They have no ability to go and get free agents. So now they have to develop, and they've proven that they are bad at developing.
My God.
That is your recipe for 15-ish years of,
All right, are you ready?
Futility.
I got some.
All right.
So I'm going to give you all the great players, the sensational players. In 2013, they drafted Tim Hardaway Jr.
Okay.
Jr.
All right. Career journeyman.
Iman Shumpert in 2011.
I mean,
an absolute stud in 2008. Danilo, no knees, Gallinari.
Who they ended up trading for Carmelo Anthony. So
lost
maybe
Wilson Chandler the year before, Trevor Reeves in 2004, and then before that,
none of those players,
no, nothing. The answer was really nothing.
Had a long time at the Knicks.
No,
Danilo Gallinari got them Carmelo Anthony, so maybe we'll say him.
Yeah, at this point, the Knicks are still gonna bank that they're the Knicks. They'll find someone. It's shown that probably won't happen. If Kyrie's not and Durant's not going.
Yeah, so they can't lure free agents.
Kyrie wanted to go home.
They need to develop.
Not that home.
They can't develop. That's why they're bad.
They're bad.
Let's move on. All right.
Knicks are bad.
So from the very, very bad, I want to talk about the very, very good.
Yes. Fine. Let's get some positivity.
Positivity in the room.
Yes.
It's amazing to me how the Milwaukee Bucks have won 15 consecutive games, all while doing it under the radar. Like to me, when a team wins, look, if the Lakers won 15 games, they devote a whole hour of SportsCenter to the Lakers.
To LeBron.
Winning 15 games.
An hour to LeBron, hour to AD, hour to Caruso.
Oh, yeah, Caruso. Like,
I'm giving, yeah.
At the end of the day, the Bucks, honestly, at this point in the year, there is a very difficult. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to make the case that any team can beat the Bucks in a 7-game series. I'm serious. Like, honestly,
okay.
I think the Bucks are the best team in the NBA, and it isn't even close. Like, it's not close. Like, they are here, like, their ceiling is Empire State Building. Everyone else is on the 38th floor.
Okay. You understand that the Bucks and the Lakers have the same record, right?
Yes, and
you understand one team has LeBron and AD.
But one team has had a much easier schedule. One team is doing it, with the best offense in the league. I mean, are the Bucks the best offense in the league? 120.5? No team's averaging more than 120.5. The Lakers 114.5. Granted, the Lakers have a better defense, 104.6, but the Bucks are right there, 107.2.
Look, I'm not going to say the Bucks are the best team in the league. I won't. I think they're the second best team in the league.
You think the Lakers?
I think the Lakers.
All right.
Now, it's almost in my opinion, they're just clicking too much. They have too much talent. I think at the end of the day, what happens to Milwaukee? They will be I think they might end the season with a better record than the Lakers. If I had to give my honest, because I just think they care more. But who's their second option?
Who's Milwaukee's second option?
Yeah,
Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who's the Lakers' second option? You could either argue it's LeBron or AD. That's the only difference between those teams. That's where it goes from this team is by far better to, okay, at the end of the day, if Giannis is having a good game, how good is that team? Honestly, if Giannis
doesn't have bad days.
Okay, I'll give you that. But in the playoffs, when he had to face Kawhi, granted, I think Milwaukee might run through the East. I think they'll
who's
run.
Who's going to face Kawhi this year? LeBron and AD.
Yeah, but that's a different
Giannis
animal.
doesn't have to face
Yeah,
Kawhi until possibly the
Giannis can't
championship.
shoot. Giannis can't shoot.
I mean,
LeBron could shoot
He
now.
has shooters there.
Okay, look, all I'm saying is of what I saw last year. That's all I could base on. And I think Giannis is going to get better every year. I think he's arguably maybe the best player in the league right now. He's absolutely dominating. But I just think once the playoffs come around, it's a different animal. You're going to... It feels different. It's more intense. Listen, if he's knocking down shots, argument. But I just don't think he will. I think the Lakers are just too good. They're just too deep, and they just have LeBron. They have LeBron. At the end of the day, LeBron is still probably the best player in this league. I don't care. The washed king, as he says.
Oh, he's definitely not washed.
No,
yeah. Look, to me, I believe that the Lakers are number 2. I think they're.
I mean,
a safe
it's fair.
number
They have
2.
the same record. It's not like it's the Bucks are rolling right now.
Okay, and also,
rolling.
But what I also will argue is, look, the last time the Bucks lost was on the game winner from Bojan Bogdanovic, over a month ago. Mm-hmm. November 9th. Today is December 10th. They have not lost in a month.
Yeah,
a month, Ross.
No,
and they lost on a buzzer beater. I'm
not going to argue that they're not a great team, but if I have to take into effect the whole roster, they are tied for the best record, so you can't even make the argument best record. If you just look at the rosters,
okay, but also I'm not looking at I'm not just looking at rosters here. I'm looking at depth. I'm looking at because in my opinion, Ross, the depth for Milwaukee is what allows them to stand out over the Lakers because the Bucks. If you look at the Lakers, I think the Lakers bench has surprisingly performed very well this season. You have a lot of veterans.
Avery Bradley's a great player. Kentavious, we can make all the jokes in the world. He's not a bad player. Alex Caruso, this team just has a bunch of people that are memes at this point. Alex Caruso, all jokes aside, great player. Quinn Cook, great player. DeMarcus Cousins probably will be back at some point this season.
Okay, but here's
Dwight Howard.
But are you going to take
Jared Dudley.
Are you going to take the Lakers bench over the Bucks bench?
Over it I don't think it's a huge difference. We could go player for player. I don't think it's a big difference. I think the Bucks do have I think they have a great bench. Yeah, I think they're solid. They have Ersan coming off the bench. They have Matthews coming off the is Matthews starting? No, I think Matthews is still coming off the bench. It's a great team.
No, he starts.
He starts, yeah.
He started every game this year.
So George Hill is So what's the starting? George Hill, Wesley.
Starting 5 is
George Hill, Wesley.
Starting 5 is
Giannis.
Bledsoe. Then they go Giannis. Chris Middleton's been out, but he usually starts. Brook Lopez has started every game he's played, and then Wesley Matthews.
I mean, you could argue that the Lakers bench is better.
In the games where Chris Middleton doesn't play or doesn't start, they get Dante DiVincenzo.
Based off this, you could argue the Lakers have a better bench. You could easily argue this.
I wouldn't agree with that.
Okay, who do you got? You got Avery Bradley coming off the bench.
If we're talking better, maybe in terms of just
defensively, they're better off the bench. Just having Green and Bradley coming off.
But also, is there going to be a team that can stand up to the size that Milwaukee provides?
Oh, 100%. Once you get Cousins back, you're going to have. Who do you have? You got
Cousins,
JaVale
McGee,
Davis. That's plenty of size. That's plenty of size. And you got guys and LeBron still could, if he decides to try on defense, is a great defensive player. Kentavious, great defensive player. This is probably the deepest team in the league. You could argue it. Granted, I don't think the Bucks Lakers debate it's like this, right? It's tit for tat. You could argue anything. At the end of the day, one superstar. 2 superstars. That's going to be my argument. And LeBron, Giannis hasn't. No offense, he hasn't won a championship. He hasn't done it. He doesn't know what it takes to get that far. He just doesn't.
I mean, neither did Steph Curry have a win championship, and he beat LeBron.
I'm not saying he can't get it. I'm not saying, but that team's a lot better than this Bucks team.
The 15
Depth-wise.
the 15 Warriors,
Yeah,
the first
depth-wise.
Warriors champion.
Yeah, depth-wise, it's the one superstar problem. It's nothing against Giannis, but at the end of the day, in the playoffs, one superstar is not going to do it. Chris Middleton's not a superstar; he's a star, in my opinion. Star, all-star star.
And the thing is, also, I think it's safe to say that those two teams are going to make a move, and they're going to add a player that they don't currently have. Someone will change the makeup of their
LeBron's
roster.
going to ask for someone. I don't know who it is yet. We'll find out. He might ask for Carmelo
So Ross.
back. I don't know.
So today's December 10th.
Yeah.
On Saturday, I believe Saturday, right? Or Sunday. On Sunday, December 15th, the third of there's like third of the league that is not eligible to be traded now, but will become eligible to be traded on December 15th.
Okay.
So trade season will be in full effect starting Sunday. Granted, it won't pick up probably until early February. But what do you think of the possibility of guys getting moved? Is there one person in particular that you want to see get moved?
You never want to see anyone get traded that doesn't want to leave. So that's. But one player that could be really interesting is D'Angelo Russell. There's some already rumblings that they're ready. They're ready to abandon ship and get it cracked and just start all over.
Where could D'Angelo Russell go? Oof. That's the question.
After this whole Bucks talk, that's the first thing on my mind. I don't know how well he gel.
The thing is, I think that in any trade for D'Angelo Russell, the Bucks ask for Chris Middleton, and they say no.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Because Chris Middleton just signed a new deal.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell just signed a new deal. It makes total sense for the Warriors to do that, but the Bucks, it makes absolutely no sense.
I'm sure the Knicks will take a stab at it. I'll bet a good amount of money.
Hey, they're only like 10 games back of the playoffs at this point.
Yeah, maybe Minnesota, a team that I think a lot of teams that usually target the free agency. There's really only two types of teams: one that are almost in the playoffs, and ones that are at the top of the playoffs that want to just finish out their roster. So maybe the Timberwolves could pull a D'Angelo Russell. It seemed like that's where he was going to go a lot before he went to he ended up going to Golden State. Right, so I think he would work well with the young Timberwolves team. Andrew Wiggins finally, years of just criticism, is having a really good season.
Having a really good season.
Karl-Anthony Towns has the support of one of the hottest artists in the world.
Towns' best season,
thanks to Lizzo.
And he has Lizzo's support.
I'm giving it to Lizzo. Yeah, so I really think that would be a good move. There's a lot of players that I think are gonna get moved. It's gonna be this is the longest time I think since the ABA merger that it's been a trade. The last trade was the Westbrook trade. This is the longest time. Granted, they're usually not big trades. Kevin Love might get moved. They've said that since.
I think Kevin Love is getting moved.
Why not?
I think it's finally time.
Yeah, get out of there. You're great for this league. Stretch four.
I think that Dallas is going to make a move here.
Dallas should make.
Now they have two options here, and I want you to hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
One option is a little more expensive than they do go get D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah,
D'Angelo Russell to the Mavs. Now,
I'm all about. Listen,
I don't know if they have the personnel to pull off the move, but it'd be kind of crazy to see Seth Curry get traded to the Warriors.
The Warriors should not.
They get two Warrior brothers. I think that would make a lot of sense.
I don't think you give up. I don't know how much they'd be willing. I think Seth Curry. Yeah. I think the Mavericks. In my opinion, I don't think they should make any adjustments. Really, I think
the Mavs
should just take this year as another development year. A good development year. They'll make the playoffs. They'll be really good. But this is Luka's team. I don't think you need to put anyone on that team that's going to take that ball away from him. He's the point guard on that team. I don't care what JJ Barea is doing out there.
No, and D'Angelo Russell can be a complimentary two guard.
Yeah,
for that team.
Yeah. I think Russell is a player that thrives as a number that wants the ball in his hand. I don't know if he's that great to be the number one option on a great team. But I think he thrives more with the ball in his hands, running a real point guard. And if you watch any Mavericks games, Luka's bringing it up the court every time. Everyone get out the way. I'm going to create some magic. Get to the corner. Luka has a top 5 vision in the league almost already. He's 20. He sees everything. Sees everyone. He's going to get you open in your spots. I don't think you want another guy to take just the ball away from him. If you could get D'Angelo Russell to just become a spot-up shooter that almost not a, I don't want to say a six man, but once Luka gets off the bench, like, hey, okay, now go. When he's not on the field, go. You got this. You go get us a bucket. Help Kristaps. Kristaps should be thanking his lucky stars that he got out of New York and went to Dallas, because I think 1 or 2 more years in New York might have poked some holes in his game. Some holes that Luka's just like, hey, all right, I'm gonna mask this. All right, I'm the guy. Kristaps doesn't seem like he wants the ball in the big shot scenario.
Here's the trade. Here's the trade right
Okay,
here.
I'm looking.
D'Angelo Russell to Dallas.
Yep.
For Seth Curry as the main player in that deal. Justin Jackson, a real nice young piece.
Nice.
Courtney Lee to match salaries and a first-round pick.
Look,
that would put Dallas on a whole new level.
it would possibly put
While also keeping, they also keep Jalen Brunson.
You keep Brunson.
You keep
I like
Boban.
You
keep
Boban's,
DeLon Wright.
They keep their shooters. I like Dwight Powell a lot. You
Tim
keep
Hardaway's having a good year.
I think they might have to. In my
Maybe
opinion,
they have to trade
they
Hardaway.
have to trade Hardaway
Instead of,
but
maybe if you go Curry and Hardaway for D'Angelo Russell.
Curry, and you got to probably throw a pick in there. But yeah,
and a pick.
they'll find a
And
way
then
around it. There's a lot of
Alec Burks goes to Dallas as well. That's a successful trade.
Listen,
D'Angelo Russell, Alec Burks for Hardaway and Steph Curry in a first. I take that if I'm Golden State.
I mean, yeah, I would take it too if I'm Golden State.
Because here's the thing. Also, Tim Hardaway, his dad is a former Warrior. Seth Curry, you get him. He's on a 4-year contract. They're not trying to win.
Not trying to
but
win.
hey,
Let's
they
have
sell
some fun.
tickets.
They sell tickets. They're another big
and
market.
you get Seth Curry there with Steph.
Yeah, interesting.
That will help with
Honestly,
chemistry. That will help with just having a Curry out on the floor at all times. That's great. Curry, pretty wild.
Yeah. Also, Luka's such a smart, great young player that I think, honestly, really anyone you give him, he'll find a way to thrive them. His vision's just too good.
He makes
but D'Angelo Russell is a really
he's the definition of most valuable player because he does
everything.
He makes the players around him better.
I think Russell would not be bad. In my opinion, I think Love would be a better fit for that team.
For Dallas.
Yeah. Love would be a better fit.
Even with Kristaps.
Even with Kristaps. Throw him out there together. Yeah, I think, Love is still a great rebounder. That'll help Kristaps. Kristaps cannot bang. Kristaps cannot get in the paint and move those guys around. He's still too skinny. Kevin Love's going to help him a lot with that. And I'm still of the opinion the ball needs to stay in Luka's hands. If you sign a D'Angelo Russell, you're going to have to feed the ball to him. Love, he knows you need to get out the way.
You get Tim Hardaway and you get Courtney Lee for Kevin Love.
I mean, I think Cleveland needs to understand that Kevin Love's not the same level as he was before.
Yeah.
But I think Kevin Love is another spot-up shooter. You just give Luka. Luka is like LeBron. Give him shooters. Let him create. Get out of his way. He will find you. If you are open, he will find you. I think Kevin Love would fit perfectly for this team. He's going to help Kristaps a lot. Kristaps still looks too skinny. I think he needs to put on another 15, 20 pounds. He looks like... I've seen him get the ball in the paint against guys 6 inches shorter, and he hits and fade away. Like, if you don't back down over him. I think Kevin Love would be a great fit for Dallas. And I think he's such a unproblematic player.
Yeah.
It seems like he's such a team guy. Everyone loves playing with him.
He went to 4 finals.
He's seen it. Yeah. I think Kevin Love's a way better fit for this team than D'Angelo. Keep the ball in Luka's hands. You don't need a point guard. He's your point guard. Yeah. I don't care if it says SF next to his name. I don't care. He is a 20-year-old stud, needs the ball in his hand, and he's not a selfish player by any means. Kevin Love's a better fit, in my opinion. D'Angelo Russell, I think D'Angelo Russell honestly would be happiest going to an average team where he touches the ball a lot more. I don't know what team I'd have to look, but maybe I don't think the Kings would be willing to give up Fox for Russell, but maybe one of those types of trades, because Fox did not look good at the beginning of the season. They started the season 3-6, but I don't think they're gonna move Russell just yet. I think he might be one of the more surprising ones. I think it's time to go. Love has been on the trading block since his first year with LeBron. And he just stays there because I think people in Cleveland like him. He's such he's not gonna cause any problems. I think anywhere you put Kevin Love, you'll be like, oh, that's good for me. Works nice. He's just trying to chill.
So I think, okay, we have a very special guest coming in the middle. Oh, why don't you open the door? See who it is.
I'm a little nervous because I feel like
go open the door. See who it is. Troy Alford making his way into the studio.
Let's extend the conversation. 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Give me my 15 minutes.
Okay, Troy
Oh my
Alford
God.
coming in the studio.
Oh
Troy,
my.
we're talking about Dallas here, and we're talking about guys that they can go and get. They can go and get in a possible trade. But first of all, how you doing? Welcome. We've never had a guest walk in the middle of the show before.
I'm like 50 minutes late, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I overslept.
You overslept.
I apologize, guys, but I'm here.
Yeah, he thought this wasn't happening today.
I did.
I went out last night.
Yeah, they went out to the club last night, and I assumed it wasn't happening.
Went to the bar.
I'm not gonna lie. I was with Jeremy, and when I texted him at 9:30 saying, "Hey, we going?" It was pretty surprising.
But,
I was ready to go there. Right?
Here's the thing with me: if I say something's happening, it's happening unless I
A
say
man
it
of his
doesn't.
word.
It happens unless I say it does not. Because I would have canceled. I would have done my due diligence. I would have done it. But
A man of the people.
you know, Troy, better late than never. We're good to have you here.
But never late.
So-
never late is better.
You want to talk about that?
Like I said, guys, I was asleep. They were out partying and whatever they were doing last night. I assumed they wouldn't get up, but they did. So my apologies. But I'm here.
We're here.
So let's talk for a little bit, like 10 minutes or whatever about.
Only 10 minutes. We got about 30 minutes left.
Oh.
Okay, well 30 minutes then. 30 minutes.
All right. Well, anyway, so we talked about D'Angelo Russell possibly being a fit for Dallas. We talked about Kevin Love possibly being a fit for Dallas. But I think the most likeliest option for the Mavericks right now is Andre Iguodala. They have the money for it. They have the picks for it. It's a good fit for that team.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Andre Iguodala possibly going to Dallas?
My concerns with Andre is, what does he have left in the tank? Like, is he even in basketball shape at this point?
I mean, you can trade for him starting December 15th, say, and then you don't even need to play him right away.
So use him as a playoff piece is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I can see
Or
that.
like bring him along like slowly but surely. But I mean, obviously, the earlier you bring him on, the more time you have with him.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking at it from that perspective, from like a low risk, high reward situation, I can see that happening. Like I said, my concerns is, what does he have left in the tank? I mean, he was battling Achilles/calf injury, whatever you call it, last in the finals.
Yeah.
Just like KD. So how healthy is he? What can he provide you with this with at this point in his career? And also, if you're talking D'Angelo Russell and Kevin Love, what can Dallas give up to get those guys back? I don't think they have the pieces to get those caliber players.
I mean, Iguodala, Iguodala is going to cost you the least. And we've been working trades here a little bit.
Yeah.
What we were talking about for getting Russell is getting like Seth Curry, getting Tim Hardaway, guys that will make sense for Golden State this season for one, salary purposes, and two, selling tickets. Because there's a lot of Tim Hardaway fans in the Golden State Bay Area that would love to go see Junior play. And there's a lot of people in that area as well that would love to go see Seth play.
Yeah, they'd have to throw a good amount of picks in because I think the Warriors invested in Russell thinking he might be a piece for the future, and I think they've.
What about? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna have to throw a lot of picks in for that, or I think they're gonna have to throw someone like you said. There's really not a lot of great role players on the Mavericks team that they could throw in. I think Curry and Hardaway would be good on paper, but I still don't think it's not enough. They'd have to throw in a good amount of maybe cash considerations, things like that. Mm-hmm. But with Andre Iguodala, here's my thing with Andre Iguodala. It's proven in the first 25 games this year that no one wants to trade for Andre Iguodala. They want to buy out. Memphis is probably holding that one team will give it to him. I think
Dallas is that one team.
Dallas might be that one team.
What's the other option? If it's might, then it might be another team. What's another team that can go and get it?
It's no option, or he just doesn't make it to the NBA
so
this year.
It's a trade for Dallas. So the three options you're saying right now, it's a trade to Dallas, they buy him out, or it's a mulligan year.
I don't think they're going to buy him out. If they were going to buy him out, they would have bought him out already. What are they going
to
do? So I think, look, someone's going to trade for him. In my opinion,
why don't they want to buy him out though?
Because it's
costs them money.
I mean,
and they probably think they get something for him.
They're trying to get rid of his whole salary. They're trying to trade it off his whole salary. They don't want to spend $9 million to not play.
Why does he give money back like all the other guys do? Like they give their money back and they come to some sort of agreement. Like I think that's what he should do. If he's...
that's the buyout. But I mean, I just think that
they probably think they could get something for him.
Look, Andre wants a buyout because
You don't want to be in Memphis.
He wants to control his destiny.
Exactly. And Memphis wants him because they think they can get a pick out of him.
I really can't believe he's still not. I thought the Lakers were going to find a way to trade for him. I don't know why. They must know something that we don't about some injury, like you said, the Achilles or something. Because it makes absolutely no sense why the Lakers didn't pick up Andre Iguodala. That's a LeBron-type player. That's someone you want. 3D. Well, D.
No 3.
Yeah, no 3. 3.
No.
D, no 3. Like... That's
but a guy that he knows what he's doing. He's not going to make a
guy that
play.
can make open threes because they leave him
really,
open.
really
It's
open.
a guy you leave open.
Yeah.
But I have an idea, guys.
All right.
So we're talking about
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell. What
Yeah.
if they send him to the Kings for Buddy Hield and a Harrison Barnes package?
I was talking about that. Yeah, I was saying it depends on how much they like Fox. Fox did not perform well in the first half of the season. If they don't believe in Fox, wait, did you say Buddy Hield?
Yeah, I said Buddy Hield.
You don't trade Buddy Hield. Well, my bad. Wait, let me.
For D'Angelo Russell, you wouldn't do it?
Absolutely not.
Why?
D'Angelo, Buddy Hield's, in my opinion, just almost the same level of player, but he's a better shooter, a better scorer, not a better shooter. He could do more, and it seems like he loves it in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. That's always a big part. You don't want to just throw a guy in there just because he's quote unquote better. I don't know how much better D'Angelo Russell is than Buddy Hield. It's by hairs, and I take Buddy Hield in my opinion just because of size, and I just think I think he's a personally better player. So I wouldn't do that trade.
I mean,
and also they can throw in their first round. I think their pick's going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah,
so they can throw that pick in there.
Throw a pick in. That's different. That's a
for
top
Buddy.
8.
For Buddy and Harrison Barnes.
Okay, but think about it. Like the Warriors are still building their team to ride out.
They're
Steph and
not
Clay
making
Part
a
2.
trade for Buddy.
Steph and Clay Part 2 is going to happen, and I just don't see logically a team that could have Steph, Clay, Barnes, and Buddy on the floor at the same time.
You know it'd be funny.
I mean, that'd be a real small lineup. And then you put Draymond at the 5.
But I think Buddy, his skill set fits better than D'Angelo Russell's skill set.
It probably does. It probably does. But the thing is, though, is we're looking at the Golden State Warriors that are now the 5-20 Golden State Warriors. We're not looking at the Warriors' plans, which is still, let's just take the mulligan this year. Let's go get a top 5 pick. Let's go get a James Wiseman. Let's go get an Anthony Edwards. Let's go get a guy that can, really be a compliment to those guys when they come back in 2020, 2021.
Wouldn't surprise me because of how dumb this organization is. We've already talked about them for about 90 hours. Mm-hmm. If the Knicks give up a first-round pick to go try to get D'Angelo.
I don't think that will happen.
If they are dumb enough to give up a first-round pick and go get D'Angelo, granted, I think they are dumb enough to do it, in my opinion. I don't think they should, obviously. I don't think anyone thinks they should. But they're like, ooh, another young stud like Dennis Smith Jr. We get D'Angelo Russell out here. Let's give him a first-rounder. I think the Warriors would be chomping at the bits. I think all the Warriors really want for D'Angelo Russell is a great, great first-round pick and a good role players.
Yeah,
I think that's what they really want. I think the Warriors understand what time it is. It's wait for Curry, wait for Draymond.
Is there a team that is saying, you know what? We don't like this 2020 draft class. We're going to go and we're going to get D'Angelo Russell.
There's always
the thing is with D'Angelo Russell is, I know he had his whole revitalization.
I love D'Angelo Russell.
He had his whole second coming last year. But if you think about it, he's been on 3 teams in 4 years, 5 years.
Well,
but truth be told, if KD and Kyrie weren't going to Brooklyn, he'd still be in Brooklyn right now. So that you can't really use that against him. He'd still be in Brooklyn if it wasn't for Kyrie and KD.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to put D'Angelo Russell next to Kyrie Irving because
it's hard to put anyone next to Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. I mean, because Kyrie is one of the best point guards in the league. So even D'Angelo Russell is just not. You're disagreeing with that? You're disagreeing with the fact that Kyrie Irving is not one of the best point guards in the league?
Let's get him. Listen, he is one of the. Okay, he's. I've been saying.
Would you rather have Kyrie Irving or D'Angelo Russell
on this Nets team? Oh, this is gonna be hot. I'm taking D'Angelo Russell on this Nets team. On this Nets team, not with Kevin Durant. I'm saying this in a very specific way.
I think the
this
fire
year,
alarm's going off right now.
Look, listen. In this year,
take.
Listen. There's a reason why the Nets were so good last year. It's because of the cohesiveness.
Yeah.
And I love Spencer Dinwiddie. The Nets look way better without Kyrie. There's only one player in the league I want to see hold the ball and dribble in place for an hour, and that's James Harden. Kyrie cannot do it and win games. I love Kyrie, but he is not a first fiddle player. He will be great with Durant,
he has
in my
KD.
opinion. We're not. Look, my hot take is specifically this year.
Okay, but why does this year matter for the Nets?
Look, you asked me a question. I think all I'm doing is answer the question. D'Angelo Russell would be better on this team this year.
Okay, but also perspective does matter here, Ross. Okay. Perspective matters here, and the perspective...
Why would Russell be better? Like, why would Russell be... What makes Russell better than Kyrie?
Because Kyrie can't play with... He can't be a first fiddle player on a great team. I think D'Angelo Russell knows that, though.
No, I think his best years came when he was LeBron's number 2.
Yeah. But I think Kyrie has a huge ego problem. He wants to be the number one.
Of course.
I cannot wait to see him and Durant play because I think it might be a complete disaster. If they weren't best friends, it'd be
Actually, I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
Okay.
I don't think he wants to be number 1.
Oh, I disagree.
Then why did he bring KD with him?
Listen, I think he still he might say that. His actions and words are different. I think he probably said to KD, "Hey, it's your team. As soon as that ball steps on the court, give me the ball. Give me the ball. I'm dribbling in place. Give me a screen. Get out of my way, KD."
That's still a year away from figuring out what the answer to that question is. But I think if you say actions speak louder than words, I think actions of leaving the Celtics, going to sign with Kevin Durant, a better player than Kyrie, shows that Kyrie
he's a better player to us. I don't know if Kyrie understands that he's going to be the second fiddle.
He's willing to be 1B or 2 on that team.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We know he's the second option when Kevin Durant comes back, right?
And I think he does too. I think he does too.
That's debatable. That's highly debatable. I think he's a delusional player. I think his ego is too big for who he is. That one championship LeBron has allowed him to have this ego. It allowed him to have this ego.
But here's the thing.
He can't do it. He cannot dribble in place. The team looks better without him. Almost every team he goes on, for some reason, oddly enough, whenever he leaves, the team gets better. I don't think it's a coincidence at this point. Not saying he's not a great player. I don't know if he's a superstar anymore. He's a superstar talent. He's a great player.
That happened in Boston, and the best Boston run came when he was injured.
They look better with Kemba.
They do look better with Kemba.
Oh my! Listen.
But wait, Boston did have a run when Kyrie was healthy where they were winning games.
That's true.
They went on like a 10-game win streak.
Yeah,
he's still a great player. He still is, but they could win without him, and they look better with Kemba. That's basically my whole argument. Kyrie is a great player. He's not a superstar player. He just doesn't do it to me.
And you're talking about the Nets are looking better without him, but you gotta look at the teams they beat, like the Chicago Bulls and stuff. Like, they're not beating guys that's like top tier teams in the NBA right now. They're beating guys that's on their level, if not worse, without Kyrie.
Look, winning is still winning at the end of the day. They don't get to pick their schedules, right? Listen, I think Kyrie, there's something deeper down that he's fighting with, right? I really do believe that. I think there's something that he needs help with. But when you lose someone, when you get Kyrie expecting him to, you don't get Kyrie expecting to be an average team, right? When he leaves, you get better. That's just a fact. When he leaves your team you get better. And it's just weird to me that happens. That's all I'm gonna say. And he's great, right? He could dribble, he could shoot, he could do everything. But at the end of the day, if you don't make your teammates better, like it's always said, if you don't make your teammates better and you don't make your team better, how great are you?
But that's why he teamed up with KD in the first place.
Ross, they're not even really beat. I mean, they beat the Nuggets, but the Nuggets been struggling. They beat the Hornets, the Hawks, the Cavs, the Knicks, the Kings, the Hornets again. Lost to who did they beat?
That was this win against the Celtics was like a 12 p.m. start on Black Friday.
But yeah, they're not really beating guys. Like, they're beating mid-tier to low-tier teams.
The Knicks by 2.
Yeah, the Knicks by 2. Come on, man. The Kings.
The Cavs by 2.
The Cavs are terrible this year. They lost to the Pacers.
They also lost to Memphis when they had Kyrie.
Very true, but it was also early. It was also earlier in the season. People are still finding their footing. Teams are still finding their footing in this new league.
There's a lot of teams this year that even after the first quarter of the season have already looked forward to next year. Yeah, the Knicks are in that boat. The Warriors are in that boat, and the Nets are in that boat. Because the Nets knew that the season was lost as soon as, even after they're like, oh, we got KD, but this is not the full iteration of our team. They knew that. They knew that coming in. So this team specifically, it doesn't matter. They could have signed KD by himself if they really wanted to, and gone him with D'Angelo Russell, but that wasn't the best for that team.
Look, well, We'll see.
That wasn't
I
the
think
best for that
pairing
team.
of D'Angelo Russell
They're
and
looking for the at the beginning of the day. The reason why this whole thing just started is because you said that D'Angelo Russell would be a better fit for this team, which I agree. I agree with that. D'Angelo Russell on this team is correct, but the thing is, the Nets are not a team; they are a franchise. They're not looking just at this season; they're looking at the future. And the best way for them to win is not this year with D'Angelo Russell; it's next year with Kyrie and KD. And they needed Kyrie in this year in order to make that happen. Because that was Kyrie's a free agent.
It's all dependent on if Kyrie and KD could gel, which I just don't think Kyrie is a good gel.
And that's a
Kyrie
question,
doesn't like to gel.
And that's
I think
a question
D'Angelo
that we won't have the answer to for a very long time.
D'Angelo is more sustainable to gel. He understands his role. He understands, and the thing that made the Brooklyn Nets, like I said on our NBA special, what makes the Nets special last year is the dancing on the sidelines. The fact that they're all best friends.
They were really fun
Kyrie,
to watch. They were
Kyrie,
really fun to watch.
it seems like he, at some points, I think he gets mad when they're successful without him. It seems like for some reason every team I just don't understand that why every team he goes on, when he leaves, they get better. Besides the Cavs, but that's because
they're not better. They're not better without
winning.
Kyrie.
They're not.
I just told you who they're beating. They're beating
told you who they lost to.
the Hornets, the Hawks, the Cavs, the Kings, the Knicks. Come on. If they played the Lakers, they'll get smacked.
They beat Boston. They barely lost to Miami.
Brooklyn.
If they play Houston, they'll get smacked.
Brooklyn has the 6th hardest schedule left in the league right now.
Yeah, they got a lot coming up.
For the rest of the season, they have the 6th hardest schedule coming up. So that is, I mean, that's gonna possibly
We'll
show.
see.
But the thing is this: the Nets don't even matter this year. They don't.
you're right.
They don't. They don't matter this year.
But y'all probably already discussed them, but can I ask you guys?
Yes. Yeah.
Are the Lakers, are they legit?
Yeah.
We had a long conversation about that.
I need Troy to answer this question because we're gonna
you
agree on this.
You can answer the question.
You
probably will say.
Okay. This
we
man.
had an argument here. Who the best team in the NBA was?
Okay, and what you say?
Who do you think he said?
I don't know.
Okay, so Ross said
the
the Lakers.
Nah, shut up.
Ross said the Lakers, and I went with the Bucks.
But no, the way you said the Bucks was kind of disrespectful by far, easily.
I did say that the Bucks were number one. So yeah, Troy.
Wait. Before I get started, Jeremy, I'm willing to hear you out. Why are the Bucks the best team in NBA?
Troy.
He's got to go through this all again.
Do you know how many games they've won?
The same amount as the Lakers.
Yep.
How many games they've won consecutively? 15 games in a row.
Pull up the schedule. Pull up the schedule. Let's compare schedules. Come on, let's do this.
Okay, but also you cannot deny.
Wait, Jeremy, what conference are they in?
They're in the East.
Oh,
It's crazy.
Which is better this year than the West.
Yeah, but is it the West? No. Pull the schedule up, Jeremy.
All right, I'm pulling it up.
I was like, I wish Troy was here when we were going through this. I'm like, I know I got it. He's got it.
They beat the Clippers by 28 points the other night.
Oh yeah, they did smack the Clippers.
They did smack the Clippers. That wasn't a Clippers team without one player. They were
healthy.
Yeah, Kawhi played. Paul George played.
Yep.
Nobody was on load management for that game.
Yep.
They beat. I mean, it's the Knicks, but you beat the Knicks. You smacked the Knicks.
The Knicks.
You beat them by 40 plus.
Look, let me name the names. I see Pistons,
the Jazz, the Blazers,
Hornets. Don't skip over the Hornets and the Cavs and the Hawks and the Pistons and the Blazers. And the Blazers are not good this year.
They beat the Clippers twice this year.
The Hawks, the
beat
Bulls,
the Raptors,
the Bulls again, the
Raptors
Thunder,
good.
Timberwolves, Okay, the Raptors.
Beat the Rockets.
The Raptors is a credible win. I only see two credible wins.
Is the Jazz not a credible win?
No, they are struggling, Jimmy.
They got two Clipper wins. I give
you that. I give you the two Clipper wins, and I give you the Raptors win. So that's 3 good wins right there. And that 15 stretch, I give you that.
All right.
Those are great wins.
Those are.
Those are good wins.
Now let's pull up the Lakers. All right, Lakers.
Nuggets, Jazz.
You can't make the Jazz argument.
The Spurs.
Grizzlies by 1 on the road. Thunder by 3. The Thunder's not. The Thunder are playing better than they should be, but they're not as. That's a team you should beat by 10 points. They're better than the Lakers by more than 3 points. Then the Kings by 2.
I hear you, but let me give my take on the Lakers really quick.
All right, give your take on the Lakers.
So the Lakers are winning, right? But
yes,
I am concerned.
Yes,
you know they say pride comes before destruction. I see a lot of showboating, a lot of they're gutting out these wins. They're giving a lot of effort. You know, they're going really hard to win these regular season games. And I don't know how long
they need to work a lot harder for that number 1 seed.
But I think they're working almost too hard, to get a win that they can let go and take it as a learning experience. They're working really hard to keep this first seed, and it seems very prideful. And I don't know how long it's going to last. I really don't. I'm really concerned.
That's why I have the Bucks.
They're literally one injury away from being from dropping.
The thing is, if okay.
Let me make one more point.
Go ahead, Troy.
So I watch the Lakers really closely. I watch their box score every game they play. If LeBron and AD pretty much don't go off, they're not going to win the game.
Well, you could say the same thing with the Bucks.
You know,
you say the same thing with the Bucks. If Giannis doesn't go off, they're not going to win a game. You could argue the same thing. True. And Giannis is definitely more of an important player than either LeBron or AD is to that team. My whole argument was based off the fact the Lakers have 2 superstars where the Bucks have 1. That's the only difference to me. Right. That's the only difference.
You know,
that's why I'm giving the Lakers the edge.
You know, I rock with the Lakers hard, but I think the Clippers are constructed better.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. My Clippers are still my pick.
And you know what the Clippers are doing? They're flying under the radar. They're letting the Lakers get all the publicity and all the coverage. Yeah, they're number 1.
Well, we know how much Kawhi loves his media coverage.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers slip to the 4th seed, meet the Lakers in the 2nd seed, and beat them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I still got the Clippers winning the championship. That hasn't changed. I'm saying the best team in the NBA right now is the Lakers. But the Clippers, at the end of the day, that's the defensive team. But if you got them winning
the championship, how are they the best team?
I'm saying the best team right now. The best team right now is based off record and how they're looking. The Lakers look better now. But I think once playoffs start, the Clippers will take over as a better team.
So when you said the best team right now is the Lakers, do you think that... But you think the Clippers are going to win the championship eventually?
Yes, eventually they'll pick it up. They're not going to get whomped.
See, I think the Bucks are the best team right now, and I think the Bucks are winning the championship. At this point in the season, it's hard to say that.
I don't think the Bucks have enough to win a championship
right now, but
they need one more.
Trade season's about to start, and they're going to go and get someone.
Get who?
They've got. I mean, they could get Iguodala. Maybe.
Why you keep saying Iguodala? I just told you we don't know what Iguodala can do right now.
What is this?
But I mean, they could. I mean, the thing is, though, is there isn't really a hole to that team. There isn't a hole.
Yeah, the hole is that they're leaning on Giannis way too much. That's a hole in itself.
So maybe you get a backup for Giannis.
Okay, so wait. We said that if the Lakers are 1 injury away from being hurt, from being done, right, from being a lot worse. Imagine if Giannis gets hurt. Please imagine that. Imagine LeBron gets hurt. Still a good team.
Not even that, but the Bucks pretty much have the same team they had last season, and when they played minus Brogdon, which was who was a great piece,
a team that was 2 wins away from going.
Yeah,
to the
but
NBA
once
Finals.
they played a disciplined veteran team, they lost.
Okay, but when are they going to get that?
Finals.
When are they going to get that in the finals?
Yeah,
in the finals. I mean, don't sleep on the Raptors. Do not sleep on the Raptors. Making a move.
They would be.
You know, it takes a good matchup. I think a excellent matchup can knock the Bucks off. They say styles make fights. I think an excellent matchup can knock the Bucks off.
But you know who has the number 1 offense in the league right now?
Who? The Bucks.
The Bucks.
Yeah, but we also like 25 games into the season. Let's
continue. And look, and of course these are all hypotheticals, and we're all like looking in the future. But that's like the beauty of it right now is there's so much that can.
We still have
go
Zion
down.
the King.
I mean, Zion's not playing
Now
this season. If you think Zion is playing this season, he's not. He'll be rookie of the year 2021. But who is the rookie of the year so far?
Ooh.
We'll close this out because this is like I don't want to go too long on this. We could probably go 3 hours on this topic.
I'm just gonna start throwing out. There's a couple. There's a couple great people.
Do they all play for the Heat?
That's crazy. I don't know how you knew that. So let's start with the Heat since you mentioned that lovely team. I think Hero is great, but I still think Nunn is probably in the lead for Rookie of the Year just based on that team alone. You cannot count out Eric Pascal, but I feel like
yes, you can.
He's not. I mean,
the thing with
the Rookie of the Year is it's not like the MVP. You don't need to have a great team to win Rookie of the Year. You just need to have great stats and be a rookie. You don't have to be on a great team. Be on a great team, obviously.
Sometimes you don't need to be a rookie to win it.
Sometimes you can take a year off for injury.
That's crazy. And then you got John Morant's looking good. John Morant looks really good.
He's also been hurt lately. He hasn't played in a while. He played last night.
But it's 82 game season.
I think he missed like 5 games.
He had
5 games is
26 last night.
Yeah. 5 games is not enough to take you out of a. Not like you missed 20 games.
Yeah,
Even
no.
if you missed 20 games. But between those are the 3 front runners. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Hero pops up. I don't know if any of you guys saw the Heat game the other night, but he scored 16 out of our last 18 points, including 3 threes in overtime. Yes, sir. Heat Nation.
What about that kid in Charlotte? His name is
PJ Washington?
Devontae Graham.
Yeah, Graham. Is he a rookie?
Devontae Graham's a second-year player.
Oh, second year. Okay.
But PJ Washington's a rookie.
Okay.
I think we're thinking
He's
about
playing decent.
I think we're thinking about Devontae Graham.
But Devontae Graham is playing really well.
He's MIP.
Yeah, I'm talking about Devontae Graham. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Devontae Graham is a second-year player.
Yeah.
But PJ Washington
I
is
didn't
rookie.
know that.
PJ Washington's averaging 12 a game and 5.
He's really good on fantasy.
He is. He's a good fantasy player.
I mean, right now, I still think Morant's in the lead, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Morant, even with missing those games, I still think Hero will possibly find a way to get back. But those are really the 4 that are doing it. RJ is not really in it anymore. Rui, I cannot say that.
Rui Hachimura.
Rui Hachimura is playing great.
Kendrick Nunn he's cooled down a little bit though.
Cool
He
down.
has.
Yeah,
He's come
cool
back
down.
to earth a little bit.
Come back to earth because he was easily number 1. That's why I'm saying he's not easily number 1. He was easily number 1 to the first 10, 15 games. Yeah. But I mean, no one I didn't even as a Heat fan. I was like, I don't expect him to keep. If he kept that pace up, it wasn't even. It was arguably not close that he was the number 1. Hero looks amazing. But I still think I'll give it to Morant. Morant's having a great season.
Ja Morant.
Ja.
And
Where is Ja?
yeah. And
Where's Ja Rule? Where's Ja Rule at a time like this?
all right.
19, 3, and 6.
That's pretty good.
efficient.
He was my pick for rookie of the year. So.
Yeah, I think you were the only one. I think I'm gonna give that to you. I think I had.
Yeah. At least I got one tick right.
I definitely had Hero. I had Hero.
You did have Hero.
I'm still rolling. I'm not
All
too
right.
far off.
Yeah, I mean,
Not yet.
It's a really good rookie class.
Oh,
It's a really good rookie class.
How even without Zion?
A quick shout out to Tyler Fullerman. So I was playing Tyler on fantasy one week, and he had RJ Barrett. And RJ Barrett got -5 points, and the next day he released him. It was so funny. I almost picked him up, but I was like, that -5 points is terrible, man.
Yeah, I mean, because he plays for the Knicks.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's
We
a
should talk
Knicks.
some Knicks.
It's a Knicks syndrome. Yeah, you want to talk more? Knicks?
No more, please.
All right.
Anything else?
Actually, we're actually gonna wrap this up right now because I feel like if we went into another conversation, we'd go over our time limit. And
Quick finals prediction, guys.
Yeah, quick finals prediction.
Yeah.
Bucks over Lakers.
I'm gonna go with my heart. I got Lakers over 76ers in 7 games.
Of the Sixers.
I got Clippers over the 76ers in 6 games.
All right. I mean, the thing is, it's nice to make finals predictions, but also when we come back
Joel
again,
Embiid,
so
be tougher.
So we're gonna come back in January, and I want to do one of these every month with the 3 of us right here.
You betcha.
Yeah, and we're gonna get Troy on for a full hour, and we can get
another mic in here, man.
yeah. I would love a third mic. Usually, I would sit over there, and I would have, but I think that the thing that's like covering the mic, I think is it helps it share better. Yeah. So that's why we've swapped. But I would love to have a third mic in here. That's a Christmas wish list.
So what you guys gonna do over winter break? We gotta.
I mean,
watch some. Wait.
I'm gonna
we
watch
do a
some
little,
Christmas
maybe a little 5-minute conversation about the Christmas Day games. We could pull them, just talk about them
quickly.
Quick.
3 minutes. I'll give you 3 minutes.
All right.
The Knicks aren't playing on Christmas
Is this
year.
even a hot take? The Christmas Day games are significantly better than watching football on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure. So Clipper, what do we got? Boston. This is a great games. Boston, Toronto, and who we got? Boston or Toronto?
Toronto.
Are they
In
playing in Toronto?
Yeah, I'm giving
Toronto's
Toronto.
winning.
Toronto's. This is their game.
Stop sleeping on Toronto.
I'm not sleeping on Toronto as a great team. They're just not. But here's the thing. This is going to be a great game because the whole world's going to be watching. It's Christmas Day. Even though it's the 12 o'clock game, I'll probably be in a movie or something. And, some Chinese food,
yeah,
as
Chinese
Jeremy, Jeremy knows. Yeah, that's going to be a great
But
game
I mean,
to show.
I actually don't know about
These
these
are
games this year.
great.
I'm not looking forward.
I'm
to
really
these games.
pissed about this Houston Rockets
I
Golden State
mean,
Warriors game. They need to,
Rockets,
quick rant.
Warriors.
They need to can they change the schedule? Because they got the Warriors playing every other game on national TV because they thought Steph Curry was back. They can't
have.
change that.
They
can't
have.
change it.
They have been.
I need an
They
analyst.
took 2 games
Well, take
away
more.
from them
Take
in
all
December.
of them. Take
I think
all of them away.
they're planning on it.
Charlotte can't get a game.
But it's
Neither
not.
can-
They're not going to take the Christmas game off. I mean,
you still got D'Lo and Draymond Green. So.
yeah, if they play.
The Rockets are not going to be great this year.
Yeah,
I love how you put that in at the end when you know we can't fight you.
Yeah,
I think they'll be great.
but, I mean, look, Zion's not playing for New Orleans. Maybe he makes his debut. Make that.
That was
game.
my prediction early in the
It's not
season
gonna
when they
happen.
said he'll be back in 8 weeks. I'm like, he'll be back for Christmas.
I mean, you
I
get
doubt it.
Clippers Lakers
Okay,
again
who do
is
we got?
nice.
Clippers Lakers regular season.
Lakers got to win that game.
Clippers.
Are they-
It's a home game. Let's go Clippers.
Well, it's
Lakers.
LA. It's,
That's a joke.
Everybody-
I got the Clippers.
I would love to see
This is Kawhi's waking up.
if the
Kawhi's
Clippers,
waking up for this.
if the
game.
Clippers and Lakers ever met in the playoffs, I would want them to not.
court neutral,
Yeah, I want to
just like a nothing. Court.
like LA, like make it like LA themed, like
That would be dope.
it'd be crazy.
I think. Look, I think the Clippers are going to. This is a statement game for them. Because I think Kawhi wakes up for the big games.
Yeah.
LeBron this season. This is the first time I've ever seen LeBron wake up for every game, which
Yeah.
is great to see. I love
Well,
it.
because he's a little more motivated now.
He still wakes up for almost
yeah.
every game. Well,
So,
he's got AD, so he doesn't
we
gotta
got-
be fully awake.
So we'll be back in
Yes.
so like after this all happens, we're gonna come back in January for more Hitting the Field podcast episodes. It was a great first season to do,
And
this.
I will be on time.
And Troy will be on time for the next
Allegedly.
one. But we're actually gonna
I'll steal
do.
my word.
So the Hitting the Field podcast, I'm proud to announce, is going to grow for the spring. We are adding 2 new podcasts, and we're going to try to morph the Hitting the Field podcast into part of a podcast network here at WNSC. So we are going to keep the Hitting the Field podcast. We're going to go try once a week. And I'm also getting more podcast hours for the spring. So we're going to do Hitting the Crew, which is a feature podcast highlighting and putting the Hitting the Field crew on the spotlight. And we'll talk to them about their ambitions, their goals, and just a little get to know the crew a little bit better. And then so that will happen starting in the spring. And we're also going to introduce another new podcast. I don't know if I've told you guys about this one. It's called Hitting the Court. Now, it's not a basketball related podcast, but court meaning attorneys and bang the gavel. So the idea is to create all-time sports debates and have one person on one side of the argument, have one person on the other side of the argument, and they decide to have at it for an hour.
Yes, sir.
So, like, if your GOAT is
MJ fadeaway perfect.
and if someone else's is LeBron James, MJ versus LeBron,
Okay.
you throw your argument out there.
MJ.
Yeah,
Oh,
y'all got
argument?
MJ.
MJ.
Can
Y'all
you count
got-
the rings? 1.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-0, 6-0. Defensive Player of the Year, 4 MVPs.
So yeah, I mean, someone will say LeBron.
Mark.
Mark will say LeBron.
Mark.
So maybe Mark
LeBron.
versus Ross or Mark versus Troy on the podcast.
3-6 Mafia.
So that is so that will be in the works in the spring.
I
We
love
will be
LeBron, but when it comes to MJ versus LeBron,
yeah, MJ versus LeBron.
sorry,
So
Brian.
like MJ versus LeBron. That's obviously one of the top ones you would assume.
Yeah.
Uh,
Kobe versus LeBron would be.
It's like
Someone would find the Kobe
Tom Brady
argument.
versus Peyton Manning.
Kobe can kick rocks.
Kobe
Well,
versus
yeah, but Kobe LeBron. You'll find a Kobe stand. Cliff.
Tim Duncan versus David Robinson.
Can we do Tim Duncan versus Kobe Bryant?
Tim Duncan versus Kobe Bryant.
I don't
Way better
like-
than Kobe Bryant.
I don't like doing the. All right.
Who you got? Tim Duncan or Kobe Bryant?
I don't
Tim
like to
Duncan.
argue different positions.
Tim Duncan.
Tim
Troy's
Duncan.
got Tim Duncan. Who do you got?
I got Kobe, but
Okay,
I don't like arguing different
so you
positions.
could
I don't
do-
think I'd have a great
So you could
argument because they're different
do
positions.
you could do Timmy D versus Kobe. The two of you. So that is coming in the spring. The Hitting the Field season 10. Season 10, guys. That's crazy. Season 10 is premiering January 6th.
We
We're
made
going
it.
right. We made it to season 10. If you
Wait,
want,
whoa.
yeah, what?
January 6th?
January
So we're
6th.
coming right in and going straight to a show?
That's exactly how we want to start season 10.
Wow. Okay.
We're trying to start season 10 the right way.
All right.
So yeah, season 10 and the spring we have
Is
a
everybody going to be back?
yeah.
Okay.
The crew will be motivated to come back.
It's gonna be a Jeremy show.
It's
Just Jeremy.
It's
He's
gonna-
honestly
The teleprompter.
I would
He's
watch
gonna
it.
host and do a camera.
I would watch it.
And TV VTR.
Yep, I'm gonna do everything. But guys, again, thank you for a great episode of the Hitting the Field podcast. Ross and Troy, thank you for coming in. And we will see you guys in the spring. Have a happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Merry Festivus.
Festivus for the rest
and
of us.
then we will see you guys in 2020.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal.